This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey guys, we got a new sponsor today.
Who we got?
We got Tidal.
Jigga what? Jigga who? We with Jay-Z, y'all? Are we? Hey,
Why are you saying we're with Jay-Z?
because this is Jay-Z's
I thought it's a
thing,
Lil Wayne's thing.
No, man, this is Jay-Z's baby right
Oh,
here.
is that right?
Yeah.
Tidal is Jay-Z's like business baby.
Yeah,
let's describe it. What is it?
It's a global entertainment platform that's built for fans, right? Directly from artists all around the world. And Tidal members enjoy exclusively curated content that directly connects artists with their fans.
I mean, you get exclusive music videos. I mean, you want to see that Feeling Myself video before it even got on YouTube? You need a Tidal.
Live streams, interactive experiences, chance to win tickets.
I want to win some tickets.
Did you want that new Rihanna album before it got leaked? Yeah. Get Tidal. But let's at it.
Specifically, though, we're talking today about Tidal College's Social Wave for Change.
This is really cool, y'all. Seriously.
Wait, so Tidal and artist owner Lil Wayne, they are partnering to promote community service among college students by rewarding them for making an impact in their communities.
See, now through the end of the month, any undergrad college student at a 4-year university can participate. Wait, what about 2-year universities?
4-year universities.
It's got to be a 4-year, man.
Damn. Sorry if y'all just doing associate program. Get out.
You got to be 4-year, man. You got to be in it for the long haul is what he's trying to say, I guess.
Can participate in Tidal College's Social Wave for Change to win a Lil Wayne concert near his or her school. Lil Wayne concert?
Yeah. Lil Wayne.
What is that?
That's my Lil Wayne impression.
A milli.
What is happening?
Yeah.
No, but seriously, if you want to go, just go to Tidal.com or check out Tidal's social media channels for more information. They're on at Tidal on Instagram and at Tidal High Five on Twitter.
You got to make sure you use that hashtag.
No, this is important. This is the important thing, that hashtag.
Hashtag Tidal X Change. That's right. One more again. Tidal X Change.
I get what they're doing.
For what? Why are we doing that hashtag, James?
Yo, you get a chance to have Lil Wayne perform at your school.
Did you hear that? Lil Wayne at your school.
Yeah, but this is the important thing. You and your college, you're doing something good in the community. Are you helping the people? Then let us help you.
Nah, man, forget that. Listen. Listen. Students can post a photo or video on Instagram or Tidal's Facebook of them completing some kind of community service using hashtag TidalXChange, and you get a chance to win Lil Wayne at your school.
Yeah, and you should be doing good for the community because you want to do good for the people around.
No. I'm talking Lil Wayne at your school.
Yeah, this is about Lil Wayne.
Because finalists will get a silent disco event at their school, and then the winner receives a Lil Wayne concert. So, I mean, even if you're a finalist, you get some.
Yeah, and then the thing is, you'll feel
Silent
so good about
disco.
yourself because you helped out, maybe the homeless people or the kids in the neighborhood.
But a silent disco, though?
A
silent disco?
That's all
or
right.
Lil Wayne at your school, though?
Does Nicki Minaj come with him, though?
Lil Wayne, though, son.
Does Nicki Minaj come?
But Lil Wayne, though, son.
That's true. Lil Wayne is hot, though.
Listen, just go to Tidal.com or check out Tidal's social channels for more information, okay? You can go at Tidal, Tidal, if you guys are like, how do you spell Tidal? I don't know how you're in college, but anyway, at Tidal
He's throwing so much
on
shade.
Instagram and at Tidal Hi-Fi on Twitter. All right? That's it. Tidal, hashtag TidalXChange. Post it.
Man, there's so much happening for black folk in movies right now, guys. Coming out of Sundance, our boy Nate Parker just got the $17.5 million distribution deal for Birth of a Nation.
It's the biggest one?
Biggest one in Sundance history.
Wow.
He also recently just got the, through Sundance, he won the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award for Birth of a Nation.
So, Kevin, here's the thing. Jerah is mad about this.
What is the thing? I'm happy. I'm happy he exists. I'm happy he made this movie. To me, I wish the movie would have been about something other than a slave. Even though this is the brave heart of slaves.
Yeah.
That turn. I just wish it wasn't,
I like how you put that.
because we got white audience too, because they know Braveheart. White people love Braveheart.
Sure.
So it's like,
everyone
loved Braveheart.
I love
right?
Braveheart.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I just wish maybe it was like, maybe he was like a dad or like a cool movie about like a family.
Why do you? But why? What about it?
I don't know.
What
just
about
like,
it makes you mad specifically? Like,
Oh, no.
Parker
What
was
is
a
it?
family man who didn't know me.
No, the thing is, I think this thing is difficult because I'm really excited that like this opportunity came up. Like, I'm happy that the biggest Sundance, like this purchase happened to a black guy. I just wish that, because most of the time the movies that do get the accolades are movies about the black struggle, right? 12 Years a Slave, and this movie technically is about the black struggle. Again, yes, it's a great movie, which is awesome, but I just wish we could get accolades for other stuff.
But do you know why that happens? It's because when you take a subject like that, like slavery, like history, particularly black history, you kind of can't. People, I think, take great pains to make it accurate or just make it sort of a film. If you to make it a big thing, you can't. There isn't a lot of margin for error for messing up. Just an example, Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be this big "I'm here" picture, So I think that's why movies like that, like 12 Years, and like, unless you, like Quentin took Django and said, "I'm going to do this whole crazy thing about," nothing against the movie, but he just kind of did a different thing with it. Whereas this feels like a very heavy, weighty film, and I think anytime you do that, as opposed to The Best Man Holiday or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Right. But I like a question about that. For instance, like Nate Parker was in Beyond the Lights, right? Great movie, I think.
Okay.
He was great in it. And when I think of that movie, and I put that movie up against, it's like, I guess it's a romantic film, right? I put it up against Silver Linings Playbook, which is another kind of like romantic movie with the leads. Like Jennifer Lawrence, both of them were nominated for Oscars. Jennifer Lawrence won for that movie.
The movie was nominated too.
And the movie was nominated. And the thing is, I'm thinking about like just the experiences we witnessed in those movies, right?
Yeah.
And my thing is like, I'm so happy Breath of the Nation exists, but it's like, why? What about those movies that still take the quality to make a good film?
Yeah.
Beyond Lights was great. It was scripted well. The acting was great. Clearly, because Nate Parker is the guy we're talking about now. Like, why? Does?
but it's the
Well,
Well,
go
just is the problem that so much money is going to this particular movie?
No,
versus...
it to me. It's like I'm just curious at why there are great movies, and like sometimes the accolades for performers and people of color only come from when that movie is related to the struggle of being like black or like the struggle of being like whatever.
Right.
Like, will there ever be like a black Revenant or like will there ever be a black
like
Silver Linings Playbook or
like
an Asian one or
like a I don't know, like a movie with like a black taxi cab driver who's just like a normal guy.
Are you
who just
Are you talking about the movie that you're in?
Wow.
are you trying to just pitch?
Are you talking about the movie that you're in?
No.
talking about
that
yourself
you
right
only
now?
have like a couple of lines?
I'm talking
in?
about I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like maybe like I don't know, in the back of the cab, like there's like this dude who you don't know who he is, and then it turns out he's like an assassin or something.
Somebody's trying to segue.
Are you talking about Collateral?
he's
Okay, that's what
talking
you're doing.
about.
He's talking about Collateral. He's talking about Collateral.
Are we talking about Collateral on this podcast?
Yes, that's what we're talking about.
Oh,
today.
snap.
Yeah.
That was a very good segue because you could have went two different ways with that segue.
yeah. Just
Maybe it's time to get into the show. Play that music.
Jonathan Braylock, James the Third, Jerah Milligan.
What more can I say? You know what it is.
Black men can't jump.
Black actors, man. Black actors. All right.
All right, welcome to Black Men Can't Jump in Hollywood.
What's up,
Hollywood
people?
City.
We here.
Good Lord.
I love saying Hollywood City. I say Hollywood City
Every time.
Every
He
episode.
says it every episode.
I'm Jonathan Braylock,
I'm James the Third.
I'm Jerah Milligan.
and we have a special guest. You were the worst
Well, I'm
at
trying
drum
to do-
rolls.
You talking about?
That
Is
sounded
that
like
good? Is it sound? I can't hear
sounded
it.
like 12 bees like humming into the
Yeah.
mic.
Did it?
Some hummingbirds escaped.
Okay, hold on.
I was about to get an EpiPen. Wait a minute.
No, it's
All right,
it was the same. You literally made the same sound.
You just went bubba
Wow.
bubba.
That is
I wanted to make it special.
that's
Yeah.
the worst drummer audition for the orchestra. That's what that is.
I gave it a shot.
Look, I gave it a shot.
I did my best.
I was trying to whiplash it. You know.
No. So we got we got the co-host of Denzel is the greatest actor of all time, period, podcast.
Denzel's pretty good, man. Denzel's damn good.
He's all right. Yeah.
He's damn good.
That guy can act.
That guy should win some awards, man.
Yeah.
Someone should give him a trophy or something.
Writer for John Oliver's Last Week Tonight and recent WGA winner, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
No, that
Yes.
counts. That
It
counts.
was last year.
It was,
last year.
Last year's. I mean, did it happen again?
Yeah, they're
whoops.
happening next month.
Next month.
So it's still,
it's
it counts. It's recent. It's recent.
All right.
It's recent.
It's still recent.
Yes, technically, I'm we're the
the
yeah.
the
We're the
world.
winners until
The world champion. You gonna say the world champion. The world champion.
It's Kevin Avery, everyone. Kevin
Hey.
Avery.
Kevin Avery.
How are you guys?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
This is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for lending me your lotion.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
That was the whole thing.
But you saw how much James wanted. James, everyone knows, is so stingy with lotion.
No, hold up.
Is it specifically, is it that you're stingy in general, or is it just lotion?
It's specifically lotion. There's
What is
just
that?
when people ask me for lotion, there's a feeling inside of just like, oh, I'm about to lose something very precious to me.
Really?
I mean, just saying, Aveeno is expensive, and
Where do you travel to get your lotion? It makes you feel like you got to take a trip.
I mean, just every time I get lotion, my bank account is not like.
He buys $20
The minimum.
lotion.
Wait, no, but just
He
think
buys
about it. though.
$20 lotion.
The minimum
that's on
that
you.
you have to have in a bank account is $25, right?
Before they alert you. Before you get an embarrassing email
Before
that
you
all
get
your
an
friends see
email.
because it shows up on your phone, like B of A would like to
And
alert
so
you.
then
that
I
you-
go and I get lotion, be it $20 lotion, or be
Plus
it just
tax.
like a
Plus
$12 or
tax.
$15
Plus
lotion,
tax.
Yeah.
right? And that's already half of that minimum,
James.
or more.
Just get cocoa butter, man. You don't use cocoa butter?
I want my lotion to work.
To be fair,
Why are you so poor?
yeah, that's, yeah. No, I'm not,
know.
whatever.
No, but if you don't have that much money, you can't be buying $20 lotion.
Yo, my
You
man's
got a
like
budget.
struggling to keep a 25.
That is
I
that's
need
the
it.
issue that we're really.
No, I need it. I need the good. I need the
No,
lotion
you
to
don't.
be good.
No,
I
you
need it.
don't.
Yo.
You don't.
You don't
get the
need
hero
that.
you need. You get the hero you deserve. And lotion, get some Jergens.
It's wor-
Get
nah,
the
man,
little
I
mini
can't.
bottles.
I
Yes,
can't
man.
get a
Just
little
keep
mini
on
bottle. I'll think about it, y'all. I'll think.
Okay. So
Whatever, James.
today,
Halfway through this podcast, I'm going to ask you to borrow some lotion again. And we're just going to
will
watch
cry.
the fireworks.
I will cry.
Watch
You won't
it
want to
tense
do
up.
it.
You need what? No, what? Sorry, brother. I just went and washed my hands again. What are you going to do?
oh my God. So for those of you who may be listening for the first time, we review films with leading black actors and then kind of discuss them in the context of race and the lack of people of color in leading roles in like major motion pictures and Hollywood movies.
And also getting celebrated.
Okay.
Talking about,
All right.
yeah, I'm gonna bring up the Oscars.
Yeah.
every year, every episode until next year's Oscars. I'm gonna bring up how the fact that 2 years in a row, no people of color were nominated. For,
So you know what is crazy? So because the SAG Awards just happened and Idris Elba won
Yeah.
for Best Supporting Actor and actually for
Luther.
For Luther. So we got two in one night. But he won for Best Supporting Actor in a movie, and he wasn't nominated for the Oscars, which is kind of crazy because I was like, has that ever even happened
well,
before?
no, it's been
Has that
rare that
happened?
it's a person that hasn't been like nominated for both, right? Isn't that like a rarity of like you don't get a
I would
SAG?
imagine it's rare, but what I'm saying is, has it ever happened before that somebody has won the SAG and then not even been nominated for the Academy? I know it's happened where somebody's won the SAG
I think
and
it
hasn't
is-
won the Oscar, but has somebody ever won the SAG and not even been nominated?
If you just get a ticket to the Oscars,
I think it's rare, but has happened.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I also feel like those are your peers voting for you. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
actor to actor, that's undeniably he's the guy that's no one's going
Right.
to argue that.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
Whereas Academy members are, it's your average. It's I think the statistic is 70%.
Yeah, it's like
no,
something
yeah,
like
It's 70%
over.
white.
I think it's actually
It's high-
90%
it's
white,
90% white, 70%
and 70%
male.
over. 70% male,
70% male.
and then
like
the median age is
60-something.
62.
Yeah,
Yeah.
median age is 62. There you
So
go.
that's who's deciding who.
Yeah.
they're not watching movies like straight
These-
out of
yeah.
comics. They're missing,
Right, yeah.
They're missing.
Yeah.
It's the thing that they didn't like in the first. They didn't
Yeah,
like
they
rap when
didn't
it
like
first came around.
Yeah.
Right.
So, it's just
Right. Exactly.
And that's just a sliver of the pie of the problem.
Right. Absolutely. And this is why we have the podcast, why we're talking about it before even the Oscars. It's away. It's like, I think somebody said like, we're like kind of talking about the face cream or something. Like, we're like, that's what like the Oscars, the Academy Awards are like the nice face cream. We want like a nicer face cream, but like
the
really
the $20 lotion.
Yeah, the
$20 lotion.
Like the important, the very important.
But you're trying to help the skin.
But you're trying to help the skin. You know what I mean?
You got to get your system right.
You got to eat right.
Yeah,
you got to eat right.
System
you
right.
got to you got to be healthy. You know. So we're trying to get healthy here.
Yeah. We're looking at you, James.
What? Wait,
we looking at you.
I thought we were talking about the Oscars.
Oh yeah, that's it.
No, what we're talking about today is Collateral. The movie Collateral came out 2004. Stars.
I'm raising my hand.
There are 2 stars. Can I just give out the specifics of the film? There are 2 stars. Put his hand down. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. Okay. Wait. The movie was very.
It was well received.
Yes, very well received. Like 86%, I think, that's from Rotten Tomatoes.
Made over 200 mil.
Made over 200 mil off of like a 60 million.
Yeah, and
budget.
it came out in August, which that's like technically.
And it's rated R.
Ground.
And it's rated R. It's hard for rated
Michael
R
Mann
films.
directed it.
Michael Mann directed it, and it was nominated for I think 2 best. Was it screenplay?
I was screenplay
or editing. No, I think it won for editing or something.
It got a couple nominations.
Got a couple nominations, but not best movie. And Tom Cruise didn't get a nomination. Jamie Foxx did, but it was for best supporting actor. Yes, Jerah.
I have my hand raised. Can I ask a question?
I'm guessing it's
Can I ask a question
on the
to the
fact?
room?
Yeah,
Please
go
ask
ahead.
it.
Because I believe this podcast reflects leading actors of color in a leading role of a studio.
Why are you looking at
right?
a producer?
I looked at everybody.
You were looking at producer Nick.
I think I know where you're going with this.
I'm just saying. I mean, technically, Jamie Foxx is a supporting actor, right?
No.
So
this is the problem.
This is the problem.
No. How do we bring this up? Because I just want to make sure I
So
say it before people be like, "Hey, man."
So here's the thing. 2 things technically happened. 1, Jamie Foxx was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. Now, he was also nominated the same year and won Best Actor for Ray. So there are Academy Award politics that we'll get into, right?
That's crazy. I forgot about that.
It was a double year.
Same double year. He was nominated twice.
He could have pulled it off.
He was nominated twice.
He could have pulled it off. That'd been crazy.
For Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor for 2 different films.
I feel like, and that was what year?
It was
2004.
It was like the 2005 Oscars for the year 2004.
Yeah.
Man.
And that year also, Don Cheadle was nominated for Hotel Rwanda. And
I mean, he was good and right.
Yeah, he was great. And man, I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting this actress's name. But the actress who also starred in Hotel Rwanda, who played Don Cheadle's wife, was also nominated. So there were like 4 people of color nominated that year, and Chris Rock hosted that year.
Yeah, really, that was awesome.
It was a very black year.
But you brought up though that there were some politics at play, right?
Yes.
What do you think those were in that case? Do you think it was like something like nominate for supporting so that we can also nominate for leading?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't get how he was great. I think that might have been just a weird random happenstance where like he was undeniably he's got to be nominated for Best Actor. And then I guess people went,
they really liked him in Collateral, but they didn't want to. So the politics. What I'm talking about is like when an actor is nominated for 2 different movies in the same category, you can only vote for one of them, right. And studios know that if you have an actor. So, for instance, Leonardo DiCaprio one year, actually it might have been this same year, was nominated for Best Actor for Blood Diamond. And I think in the Golden Globes he was nominated for Best Actor.
He got nominated for Blood Diamond?
Whoa, yes. He was nominated for Blood Diamond and The Departed. It came out the same year. And in the Golden Globes he was nominated for Blood Diamond and The Departed. For the Oscars, they only nominated him for Blood Diamond. And it's because the studios, and I'm sure Leo, had to decide which one do I want to push for, because if I'm only nominated for one, if I'm not nominated for both, I will 100% not win. Because people who are my fans will split the votes.
Oh yeah.
But those 2 roles in particular are leading roles.
Right. So So
Was he the lead
but
of the
it's so it's
I
not
know
just
that's
that.
what I mean. Like I
Was he the
I
lead
would
of
say
the
that
part?
was supporting.
He was definitely the
was.
lead in the, but they could have nominated him for supporting. Actually, maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe they did nominate him for supporting in the Golden Globes, but he wasn't nominated for the Oscar.
Yeah.
He picked Blood Diamond to be his
Because he
Oscar
was the lead, though.
I think
was,
because Blood Diamond had to deal with a heavier cause.
I know, but Blood Diamond essentially was an action movie.
Yeah, but
Well, so
I'm
was
happy
The
you-
Departed, right?
I'm happy you said that though, because
The Departed was a Scorsese. You
Yeah.
know, it was like
I know,
and it won.
It's Tyler
weighty-
Coward.
It also won Best Picture.
Yeah, like that was a movie that was, you know.
But that's interesting you said it was an action movie, because when I think of Collateral, like I like Collateral. Collateral in itself, just the performances were great, but this wasn't a movie that I feel like would normally get the Oscars
I'm a little
attention.
surprised
So I'm like, the
about that.
fact that, like, you know, whether it was
agree.
Jamie, whoever, I'm just shocked that, like,
You know what?
they even looked at it to be like, oh, this is an Oscar.
But I think it
worthy.
was such a Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I wonder if did Ray come out before
Oh, let me
Collateral?
check.
I
Let
bet
me
everyone
check.
was so because
No, it
Jamie's
probably came out.
star was rising at that point.
I probably came out. I would guess it came out after, because Collateral came out in August and Ray is an Oscar bait movie. It would have probably come out November or December.
Wow, it was 2 months apart. Yeah, so Collateral came out August 4th. Ray came out October 29th. 2004.
Yeah.
So it was 2 months apart.
What did he do before Collateral? Because
Hey, do we want to look that up?
So wait. So let's just talk about. Do you think that Jamie? Who here thinks that Jamie Foxx is the lead in this movie?
I do.
I do.
You do, Kevin.
Yeah.
I so everyone knows, I was so opposed to this movie at first. I didn't think he was a lead, but then after watching it, I'm like, oh, he clearly.
The movie's
he clearly
about
is-
him.
It's
Yeah,
about
clearly
him.
about
Like,
him.
It is his story.
There's no way you would even argue that Tom Cruise was the lead of
Right.
this. You
Yeah.
can't successfully make that argument.
So I think here's the thing, and we talked about this in Training Day, right? Because Training Day, I don't know if you guys talked about this, but like Denzel was nominated for and won for Best Actor.
Yeah.
But Ethan Hawke is kind of the lead in that
Yeah.
story, because like we start with him, we end with him. It's like it's more from his point of view, and Denzel is like the bad guy.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's the same thing. Tom Cruise is the bad guy who has the juicier role, quote unquote, and he also was the bigger star, and therefore was on the poster. Collateral poster is just like there are some Collateral posters with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
After,
Jamie Foxx
that was afterwards. That
and
was
Jamie Foxx
after.
is behind
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But the main posters for Collateral, it's just Tom Cruise on the poster.
Yes, that's who they. Yeah, I mean,
That's who they've sold the film.
there should be. I don't understand why, and maybe this has happened before, but why two actors can't be nominated for a lead role in the same film? Because it is that movie to me is just as much Denzel's story as
Right.
it is,
Ethan Hawke.
Jake Hoyt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke. And so and with Collateral, it is really it's more Jamie Foxx's story. It's about him from start to finish, and Tom Cruise is his foil, is the bad guy of the film.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's great in it. I mean, you can make an argument that certainly they could both be nominated for Best Actor in that film. I don't know that Jamie's performance is necessarily Oscar worthy. It's great. It's great.
All right,
It's great.
calm
But
down.
I don't know.
Wait, but why are you so excited by this?
Because people know, because when I say stuff like that, right? They you see how they were not. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. When I say that, you know what I get? Why you hating on Jamie Foxx?
No,
I'm not hating on
I was
Jamie.
about to. No, I disagree. I think that the reason someone like that is nominated is because it's a movie that grabs the attention. It's a movie that ends up grabbing the attention of the Oscar people, and then it is a different Jamie Foxx than they are used to seeing, and then because of that, he gets nominated.
I agree.
Like
That doesn't mean.
I see
That's
what you're
good.
saying.
Yeah,
I totally see what you're saying. I don't necessarily think that it was the greatest. When you let's just act as if it's a leading role. If it's a Best Actor, you compare that to Ray. The performance in Ray is far superior, I think, to his performance in Collateral. Not to say Collateral wasn't great; it was great.
It was a good movie.
But I think that and he was great in it. I just it to me it didn't totally get to the.
It was like, why is that?
It
Why
is
is
a-
it the
well,
pinnacle of acting
Right.
for that year?
Yeah.
Why is it
But-
in the?
He was better as
In Ali?
Thank
In
you.
Ali?
Yes, yes.
That was,
He
look
is
at it,
great in
though.
Ali.
He's great in Ali.
And he wasn't nominated for that though.
He wasn't.
He was.
John, he
wasn't
what?
he?
He wasn't nominated.
No,
No,
I
John
don't think
Voight
so.
was nominated.
Yeah, he wasn't nominated for that. The movie he did, just to answer the question before, the movie that Jamie Foxx did before Collateral was Breaking All the Rules. You remember that
was
romantic
that
comedy?
right before
Was that-
It
Collateral?
was right. It was the same year. It was like, yeah, it was the same year.
Was that the condom one?
It was. Hold on. It was the one. I think it was Vivica Fox. Hold on, let me.
Wasn't there
It's-
one with him and Tommy Davidson and it was just
No, not that one.
That's Booty Call. That's Booty Call.
Yeah, that's in
Breaking
the
All the
90s. That
Rules
was in the
is
90s. That was
he's-
How could you forget?
Either he's a writer or the woman is a writer, and he's like, it's the one where he bites his hand and it like bleeds, and like
Yeah.
human beings can't bite themselves because it's this whole. That's the
Yeah.
thing I remember about the movie is the biting of it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's when he had. That's when he had the fro with the twist on
twist.
top. With the twist on
yeah.
top.
Morris Chestnut is in it, right?
Yeah, Morris Chestnut and
Yeah.
Gabrielle Union.
Morris Chestnut. All right, this is what I want to do. I want to put a pin in this in the Jamie Foxx discussion for a second.
Okay.
Let's go to first initial reactions right to this movie. And Kevin, I want to start with you just because we're talking about Ray, but you wanted to do Collateral,
Yeah.
not Ray, which he won for. So why is that?
I just didn't want to sit through Ray. as much as I love it, I'm like, schedule's kind of tight. Collateral.
I
I
respect that.
love that movie.
Right.
It's and I've seen it a bunch of times, and it's one of those movies I can watch.
You can watch it
absorb
again and
go,
again.
Yes, that thing. Oh, I can make a point about that. I can, and
Yep.
it just I can't. Because I had to with the Denzel
Yeah.
schedule, I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I got to watch 2 movies. In
Yeah.
2 days. How am I gonna fill that? So that's why I could have also done The Kingdom. Because that's another movie that I'm like, yeah, The Kingdom, yeah, I like that. But I just love that movie. I love Tom Cruise in that movie.
Yeah.
I like I love Jamie Foxx in that movie. I don't want to, and the interplay between the two, and it's also a story I can identify with. I think as a performer, I think as an artist, it's easy to fall in the trap of going, I'm going to do this thing, as anybody really, to set this goal for yourself,
Yeah.
and then not do it.
Right.
Because it's easy to, especially I think in the entertainment business, in the performance business, it's easy to not do stuff. It's
Yep.
easy to stay at home and not go hang out at the club that you should be hanging out at just to show your face, even though
Right.
look, I've been doing this for 10 years already, and that really resonates with me, so
Totally.
Yeah.
Where we go? I go. Watching this movie, the thing is, I actually realized I owned the DVD. This movie,
Yeah, me
I
too.
was man. It was like it's just a good movie, man. The thing is, it's funny because in talking about this movie, I know I got to focus on Jamie, but almost everything about the movie I liked a lot. Like I
Yeah.
liked Tom Cruise playing a villain. I thought the way they showed. Here's the one thing I say was really well done. Like I watched on the DVD, they had the behind the scenes of like just the audition and stuff like that, and just the positions that they would go into. Like when they were in the cab, like when Tom Cruise would be in the peripheral, when he'd go right behind them. And just like you could see, I think that helped Jamie and they both helped each other. Just like you can see him be vulnerable. If a dude is behind you threatening you and you're driving a car, you get super vulnerable. And you saw like those tight shots, those tight dash cam shots, which is
Yeah.
great. I mean, the way it was shot too, like shot with
Absolutely.
like camera. I think it was the first time they used some particular like digital camera so you
Yeah,
could shoot with
Viper.
like low light or
Yeah.
something. I mean,
Yeah. It's one of the first films that shot mostly in
On digital,
It's like
right?
it's like George Lucas did a lot of digital for the Star Wars prequels, which came out two of them came out before this, but like there was still like this idea that to be artistic,
Yeah, do film.
you have to do film, and this. I think it might have been nominated for cinematography. It's definitely won for best editing, but like people saw this film and they were like, "Oh, this feels just as artistic, if not more so than a lot of these films that were shot in film." And so it was one of the monumental films that like helped shift that movement. And I mean, every film was going out anyway, but like this was one of those like stake in the hearts. Honestly,
I definitely thought Jamie did a good job. I was like, because at first I was like, I'm not sure he should have got nominated. But watching, I was like, man, it was that dash cam. I'm like, man,
dude.
I
he
can
was
see
good.
why he was
I was
nominated.
like
Yeah.
seeing that
Yeah.
dash cam. I was like, oh, these shots, like that face of like the fear, like that's it.
Dude.
That's good acting.
Should I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
So here, I really like this. I loved this film when I first saw it, and watching it again, I was like, "Yep, like this film is so." And it's what you're saying too. Like everything about the movie is good to me. And honestly, I mean, we're talking about the Oscars a lot. The Oscars, everybody kind of knows like the movies that win the Oscars or get nominated. A lot of times, like it's just because there's like a quote unquote Oscar type movie. Like it has to be heavy. It has to deal with like some very like significant thing that happened in history, or you know what I mean? Like then there are always like the outlier films. And I feel like this is one of those. I mean, even if it wasn't nominated for Best Picture, if there were like 10, it probably would have been, right? So like it's one of those films where you're like, yeah, it's not like quote unquote Oscar bait, but like everything about it is so good. And the reason that I was disagreeing with you, Jerah, before about like Jamie Foxx, because I think like what James was saying, Jamie Foxx is doing this thing that's so different than what we used to see. Even Ali, because Ali is great, but it's still like comedic in his performance. You know what I mean? Like
Larger than life.
It's larger than life. Like we get it. Like we understand that Jamie can do that. And like this was to me the first time I saw Jamie Foxx do a role where I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like the Jamie Foxx that I know. It's like, and I believed him when he was nervous. I believed his like this character that like could like was like confident, like wasn't confident and like, but in his mind just thought that he was going to be doing bigger things and just really wasn't. But it was like kind of like disillusioned. You know what I mean? He was just like
confident.
He was confident.
That's the weird thing about it.
Yes.
He's confident in the beginning because the way he talks to
Jada
Pinkett, he knows his shit.
Right. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, and he's just talking to her like he's her therapist. And then when the dynamic is shifted when Tom Cruise gets in the car, which is a crazy thing that I realized watching this, that sometimes the performances, they work on two different levels. So you have Vince and you have Max, but in the car, and like Max is in his world this confident guy.
Yeah,
look, I got big dreams, and I'm a dad. And he's one of those dudes that talk the talk a little bit, but but still knows his business where he is. And then you have a guy named Vince who is just running shit.
Yeah. Right.
And then the dynamic changes. And in this movie, you have Jamie Foxx, who's coming up and just really starting to become a star.
100%.
And then you have Tom Cruise, drifting into the back seat, like, hello, let me show you a thing
I'm the guy who knows what's up.
It's all about, Jamie learning from this villain.
Yes.
And it's a similar thing with like Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta when they call The Wolf. And Harvey Keitel shows up and, sir, hey, great to work with you, man.
Yeah.
This has been an honor. That you're looking at Keitel and Travolta and Jackson, kind of like revering this guy.
Right.
And so I think that's what really helped drive those performances and make them as strong as they were.
Absolutely. So I just thought it was, and then just in terms of the podcast, like this was one of those movies where they don't talk about race at all. Like zero.
Not one time.
And not one time. Not even like a offhanded joke. And not only that, but like this was a movie when I watched it as I think in high school, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. Like this is the kind of performance that I want to, like, you know what I mean? This is the acting performance that I want to do. I want to
taxi driver.
So like,
I want to be it inspired me as just an actor. And that, I think, to me, that's what like black kids and people of color growing up who want to do stuff, and they look to roles more like this than necessarily. Again, not to put down these other films, like we're talking like 12 Years a Slave or A Birth of a Nation or that kind of thing. Like those films are important. They need to be told, and they are they're inspirational in different ways. But I think as purely as an actor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the type of film that I really think people can sink their teeth into. I don't know.
That is your problem with Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
The lack of that.
Yeah.
Because it sits in the middle, and it's not a 12 Years a Slave. It's not a Straight Outta Compton, which really speaks to, even though it's a movie for everyone, but it really speaks to a specific audience, and and then 12 Years a Slave is such a big thing, or even I don't know, what's the Concussion? Concussion feels like an Oscar bait type of movie. we don't have. And when you're an Oscar bait movie, you're competing against all the other Oscar bait movies. But where's your Collateral with the black guy in it who's just a taxi driver and not a black guy? And that's what's missing more.
That's the fight. It's just people of color and women just getting roles that are just humans, that are late.
Yeah.
It's just simple as that, Like,
Yeah, no, my initial thought of this is really that like Jamie Foxx's portrayal in it is like a lesson in subtlety. Like he's just a person living through this event that's happening to him. And I think that there are so many moments that are like really I talked about this with Django that like, and I really think I was putting a lot of it on, but there's a lot of moments where just there's story being told, but like he's not doing anything, it's just like an expression on his face or, like it. And, like the after, the scene in the club and like Mark Ruffalo like is helping to get him out.
Mark Ruffalo.
And then but then he gets shot, and then
God.
and Jamie Foxx sits in the car, and there's that shot of him in the car, and it's just like,
it's over.
Like
That's it. That's my hope.
So good.
You feel everything that he is experiencing in that moment, and it's all like just the look on his face, and I think that like stuff like that is so great. Another thing though about initially watching it again, I couldn't remember if I had seen it before. At every moment throughout the movie, I was like, I don't think. Wait, no, I've seen this. Up until the last shot.
Would you get surprised that something happened and then be like, oh, wait, I kind of knew that was going to happen?
Yeah, the whole time watching it, I was like on the edge of my seat and then like, but wait, I already knew that.
Real quick, can I just say, like, just to... the guy who wrote this screenplay is amazing.
Yeah.
The screenplay is really good.
Yeah.
And I was watching this with my girlfriend, and she didn't know anything about it at all, which made me like really excited because of knowing what this movie is. Because the way that this movie starts, you have zero clue what it's about, but it's still engaging because you're like, just like it starts off with Jamie Foxx and Jada Pinkett Smith, who's also great in the movie, and they have like this very like interesting kind of dynamic conversation where you're like, are they flirting? It kind of feels like flirting, but it also doesn't. Like Jamie Foxx isn't like really trying to go after it, but Jada Pinkett Smith is clearly enamored with him, and they just have this very lovely scene. And then all of a sudden, like Tom Cruise comes in, and even before, like when he first comes in, they're just having like this conversation where he's being a little bit antagonistic, but also still seems just like a business guy, whatever. And then boom, the movie just changes so quickly, and the pace kind of never slows down.
Yeah, I had forgotten that we don't see Tom Cruise kill the first guy.
Nope.
Right.
Yeah.
And he says he
forgot
doesn't
about
too.
that.
Remember? He's like, you killed that guy. I didn't kill him.
Well, technically, the bullets in the fall.
He's mad at the whole time.
I thought that was a really smart move, script wise or directing wise, or it's weird because the script had a bit of an uphill battle. It's a little bit. The beginning and end hinge on a huge coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And somehow it's forgivable, or it's just that just goes away, and you're in it.
Are you saying the coincidence that he just picked Jamie Foxx's car?
That
girl?
he
And it's the
picks up
same-
Jada Pinkett
Yeah, it's the girl. Yeah, that's the one.
and then,
yes,
cruises
yes.
in his car, and this all ends up with her again.
Though-
But it ties together.
It ties together, and it makes somewhat sense. It's like a coincidence, but to me, it's not that big. Just because one, I think Tom Cruise was going to that building already to kill Jada.
Jamie said
Exactly.
it. Jamie said he was casing it. He was like, he probably was when he's on the phone with Jada. He's like, I think he was there. I picked him up in your car. I think he was casing the joint.
Yeah, he was casing it, so it
Yeah.
makes sense. Like he would be in a car and then get out in a taxi. That it's just like
I
the
don't think he
timing
was casing it. I think
He wanted to
was,
kill her.
I think that's when he showed up. I think she was number one on the list.
I agree. I agree.
There's a shot
I
of
think
him on the
yes.
escalator, and he just
Coming down.
misses her.
He just missed her.
And I think.
And then he was like, he has a schedule to keep, so he was like, all right, she'll be here. She'll probably be here later.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'll go. All right, let's go to a word from our sponsor.
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 Guys, this episode is brought to you by Squarespace.
Squarespace.
Cheer.
No, Squarespace, not Chia.
No, it's Squarespace.
Cheer.
Guys, you know what Squarespace is, okay? You go to squarespace.com for all of your website needs, okay? You need a website? That's not a question. It's actually a demand.
Yeah,
you
people,
need a
you gotta-
website.
I mean, are you a human in 2016? Get a website. Robots got websites.
Are you living in the digital age?
All right. Here's the thing about Squarespace. You have easy to use tools.
How easy?
You don't need to know HTML code.
Oh, snap.
Man,
They got drag and drop options.
drag and drop though.
Okay. They got intuitive designs.
Whew.
Oh,
Whew. I can make whatever kind of website I want.
You can make whatever kind of website you want. And millions of people use this, okay? Businesses all over the world. I myself have a Squarespace website, johnbraylock.com.
yeah.
Look at
And
that plug.
I have a Squarespace website, james3rdcomedy.com.
I'm also creating my own Squarespace website that says, my name is Jerah Milligan, and I'm not James3rd.com.
Why is the domain name so long?
That's a real
And
long-
also, why am I roped into this? That doesn't make any sense.
Our podcast, actually, Black Men Podcast. Black Men Podcast.squarespace.com. Listen here. Squarespace is by the way, do you guys know how much it is?
What?
It starts at $8 a month.
$8 a month.
$8 a month. That's like less than Netflix.
That's less than a pizza.
But you know what else though? You get a free domain if you sign up for a year.
Shut the front door.
free domain?
Shut the front
Free
door.
domain.
Shut the front door.
Now-
the back door open. No, you know what I'm saying.
If I wanted
I
to
don't
do
get that.
I don't get it either.
I don't either. I thought it was going to sound cool.
If I wanted to do like a trial website, do I need a credit card?
You know what?
I don't
I
believe
think
you
it's
do.
no credit card
I
required.
don't believe you do.
You guys are correct. No credit card required.
Oh,
What?
You
We
could
got
try
one
a
right.
trial website today.
Oh, snap.
And listen here. If you want an extra discount, because I know you guys like the discount,
you
right?
Oh, he got the
want-
deep voice on
you
y'all.
know
Y'all
we
better
want
listen.
that.
Y'all want that
He
extra
changed
discount?
the
No, we
voice
want
up
that
on you.
discount.
Black men can't jump, and Hollywood can hook you up.
Hold on, wait. Should we tell them though? Should we tell the people that we can, give
we
this
wanna tell
inside
'em?
trading?
I think so.
I think we should.
I think we do.
All right.
Spread the love.
Listen
Spread
here.
the wealth.
Do it.
Use
do
the
it.
offer code JUMP.
Jump,
What was that offer code again?
JUMP.
jump,
What was one more time?
JUMP
jump.
for a 10% discount.
Oh, it's 10%. It's over 5. Over 5%. That means people love you.
Yeah. Oh yes.
10.
That means we love y'all.
That's
getting
a
y'all
tithe.
10%. That's a one.
That's a tithe. That's biblical.
It's about to get religious for just a moment. That's
All
a
right.
tithe.
Visit Squarespace today.
Yeah, Squarespace.com.
Use the offer code JUMP. All right? Squarespace. Build it beautiful.
Beautiful.
Wait.
You can never say it.
I was there.
No, it was
Beautiful.
well after we were finished.
Squarespace. Build it beautiful.
Also, shout out to Jason Statham.
Oh, yeah.
it was
Random
just
cameo.
randomly in
He
it.
just shows up.
Apparently,
Also-
they're supposed to be the transporter character, right?
That's
That's
what
the
I
rumor,
read. Some,
whatever.
yeah,
Oh really?
I,
It's like-
I don't think whatever. But
Isn't
Javier,
Jason Statham
Javier
always a
Bardem.
transporter character?
Yeah.
yeah.
Not that I don't love Jason Statham. He's dope.
I love the
Jason
transporter.
Statham. Yeah.
Javier Bardem is in this,
Yep.
and this is
Which I
before he was
didn't
famous.
know.
He's not even like one of like the top billed people.
Nope.
He's Felix. Javier Bardem is
The one who
Felix.
he has to get
is
the, thumb drive from.
He's the one who gets he's the one who goes Santa Claus, the Pedro de Negro.
He has to get his
Yeah.
thumb
I was looking at that guy going, should I know
That's
him?
Javier Bardem.
Yes.
He wins an Oscar like 4 years later or some
Yep.
joint.
Yep.
5 years later.
And then, just Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I had forgotten he was in it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. Man, I
And-
love when Mark Ruffalo shows up in a film.
Wait, now we got to talk about this though. Was he playing a Spanish person in that movie?
I couldn't tell.
Was
thought
he
he was-
supposed to
I
be a
couldn't
white guy
tell.
who was undercover playing Spanish, or was he supposed to be?
Well, he didn't have an
Hispanic?
accent or anything.
I
like
just
that.
looked at
He
it
didn't have an
as
accent.
like an undercover, like kind of act.
Because when he
thought the
first
same thing,
talks,
though.
he
I thought the same
he's speaking
thing.
in Spanish, and I think the idea is that he's undercover as like a gangbanger or whatever, but I think at least his identity or his undercover identity is supposed to be
Hey, but
Is he
wait,
supposed to be a
maybe he
Latino
was.
in that movie? Is he supposed to?
That's
be?
that's what I'm asking y'all.
I think the fact that we have to ask is sort of like, this one you could put in the...
We could-
trust me, I mean, I've been examining this a lot lately.
Yeah.
And some of these I feel like, yeah, just let it.
Yeah, we can let it go. I
mean,
mean,
but
I'm
that
willing to
one-
let it go because Mark Ruffalo is the man.
Yeah, we
He's
said
so
this on the
good.
Beast episode. I think that was like every time I look at Mark Ruffalo, I'm like, is he something?
Yeah,
Yeah, I say that.
You don't
He
know.
said that. I don't know what Mark Ruffalo is.
Yeah, we don't
Part
really
of
know.
what's the world is changing,
It's true.
and that is part of the thing. I mean, that's different from I don't know, John Wayne playing Genghis Khan or,
Yeah,
or whatever,
right,
you know. But
Or
obviously
Mickey
that was
Rooney playing what was it in Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Yeah,
It's true though, because like Puerto Ricans, like there are a lot of different people who are of like Latino, Spanish descent who are very fair skinned, you know, and they don't look quote unquote Spanish or whatever the heck that is.
I'm scared to look it up. I want to look up. I don't want to look it up.
I don't think it matters.
I don't want to look it up.
I just wanted to.
I'm scared to look
I just
up
wanted
if
to
Mark
know.
Ruffalo is like I'm scared to look up his nationality because like I feel like, hey, like for instance, the Oscars right now. We talked about on Beast episode. He's close, right?
I feel like
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No,
Mark.
he's not.
No, whatever. No, whatever. I don't want to know. Mark.
But I feel like when the character could be anybody, it's. I mean, you know, if you go, oh, this is a Latino character, then maybe you cast a, you know, if that's what you're asking for in your script, then you cast a Latina, you cast a Latino actor, and you know, but if it's just as ambiguous as, I guess if it could be anybody, I don't know, it's a
If it
weird
doesn't
type
matter,
of thing.
yeah.
It's not, what's her face, Mara Rooney playing Tiger Lily.
Yeah.
Right.
And
What a white dude playing Michael Jackson.
I don't know how that's happening.
Joseph Fiennes playing Michael Jackson.
I mean,
I don't know.
I know. I understand it.
There's
Y'all don't
a
see it?
light skinned
Don't-
dude somewhere who
I
can play
see it.
Michael Jackson.
I know. It's a,
that's
or somebody with
weird-
like
it is a weird conversation because we can all sit here and go, yeah, that guy, he's not. You need a black guy to blah blah blah. But
I know.
who
I know
do
what
you
you're about to say.
get to do?
Somebody with
How
that
does
Roberto
it? How does that? I don't.
It's true. It's true
It's
because
true.
he
I mean-
looks white. The man
I mean,
looked
I
white.
know, but there's an
up.
actor we don't know yet, right?
Maybe.
What?
Like, there's an actor
we got?
somewhere who's out here struggling. Who
It's probably a more fun movie if you cast an unknown.
I think it would be.
I
You have
agree with
Stockard
that.
Channing. You have Brian Cox.
yeah, just
and
make
then-
someone like embody.
Yeah, and then somebody
because
else.
that way you're not
yeah.
distracted by like who's playing Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
But Mark Ruffalo.
No.
His character name is Fanning.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just.
I
That's
I
not-
think that could very easily have been a guy going
That's
undercover,
anybody,
just
right?
I agree. I think it's
overly
that.
hip
Yeah.
white guy.
Yeah.
Who's down. But
But yeah, I think this film actually, I mean, just to jump off that point though, this film I think did a very good job with its casting. It was there were white and black people, Spanish people, like Jada Pinkett Smith's character is a prosecutor, like
A strong, smart one. Too.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And it didn't feel like there were no real stereotypes at play. One of the things I noticed was I was like kind of happy that when Jamie Foxx is tied up in the alley and he starts beeping the horn and like a bunch of white guys come over and they're the ones who try to rob him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like it's
Yeah,
cool that they didn't
true.
do like a gang of like black people
Yeah,
or like
true.
Hispanics robbing him. It was just like these weird like white, kind of hippie-esque white people.
it felt like that. Yeah, like that made perfect sense. Those dudes.
Those
I
dudes
feel
make
like those
perfect
guys
sense,
would
yeah.
stop and investigate a taxi honk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then steal the money.
Yeah. But
I
weren't there four of them?
It was.
Yes, I
It
was. Yes,
It was.
What
It was.
happened? There are four of
happened to
them,
the other
and
two?
then all of a
Those
sudden
dudes
there's
went-
only two. I was
that
like,
got
what the
shot,
heck?
Those guys were like, I don't trust the situation.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
kept
walking.
moving.
I'm out.
But
Yeah, that was weird. I thought that was a weird edit.
I do want to get like I feel like I know we don't usually do this, but like Michael Mann, like I just feel like the directing in this was so good.
Yeah.
Only because I think the performances I think every strong performance from an actor comes from like a very strong director. And it was literally every time you saw Jamie's face in that car, especially when after the first person gets murdered or whatever, and he helps the guy put him in the trunk. And, he's like, I don't want to go. Take the cab. And he gets back in the cab now. He's forced back in the cab.
Right.
And before he moves, he's just sitting there and you just see his, like, I don't know, his eyes were just darting all over the place. Like, that was a great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that right there showed you this dude has no clue what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's such great directing. And the gunshot sounded like real guns. Michael Mann freaks me out with that, by the way. Like, he doesn't do the whole, like, sound. He does, like, real...
He be shooting people.
He does like any movie, yeah, like that. And what was the other Jamie Foxx movie he did with Michael Mann?
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice.
Miami
The
Vice.
gunshots, and I was like, "Good, Michael Mann, stop, man!
Yeah.
Freaking me out, bro."
He likes it real.
Yeah,
Man, it's so hard because I love Michael Mann. I really do. I think he's a great director. I think this is my favorite movie of his. Ali is up there, but a lot of times I feel
He
like
directed
Michael.
Ali. I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Did he direct Ali?
Yeah, I'm almost positive he did.
I don't like Ali.
I know he did Heat. I don't like Ali.
Oh, word?
I
haven't seen
like
it
Ali,
since-
but I don't think it's great. I don't think it's great.
I haven't seen it since it came out. So.
But now I gotta look this up. To make
He,
sure I'm not being an idiot.
No,
he did. I'm right.
There are two
got
very
scared.
big turns in that movie for Jamie Foxx. The first one where the body falls on the car and he immediately freaks
freaking
out.
out.
But there's a moment.
But it just fell.
Yeah, but there's also a moment where he has to go in and pretend to be Vincent.
Oh my god.
That is a tricky thing for an actor to navigate.
Yep.
Because he could have just gone in and suddenly been a badass.
Yes.
And but you got to see scared Max and then that's why that confidence at the beginning is so important.
Yep.
Because it comes back and
I agree.
very important that
Yeah.
very early in the movie they let you know this is a smart dude. This is not just some, schmuck. And that helps him when he, and it shows, he's got this confidence. He has everything he needs to do what he wants to do, to start that car company, to go to those islands or whatever. And you see it right there in that scene, and it's navigated very carefully. He doesn't just suddenly flip a switch and is like, tell that guy to take the gun from behind. It takes him a moment to, it's not perfect.
Yeah.
It's not perfect.
No, right.
Yeah. But he does it. He still does it really, really well.
But
and
you
it's
see,
tricky
like
to do.
even the motion of him doing that, because basically you see Javier Bardem look up. So I feel like at that point, since he's smart and we know it, he knows he's about to get shot.
Yeah.
Like he knows it, because then he sees the dude step up a little bit, and he does, which I remember laughing only because of the fact that like he went from being confident to scared this entire time. So what is the geeky guy supposed to do? Takes off the glasses. Like that's the tough guy move. It's like tell that guy to put the gun down. And it's like he just slowly takes off the glasses. And even then, like you're saying, that's a tricky thing for an actor. Is like you see him literally trying to boost his confidence up. So he goes from like really like scrouching to like tell that guy to put his gun. And he sits up a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He almost gets level with Javier Bardem, and like, oh man, you guys should change it. I like Jamie a lot in this movie now.
No, I mean, I think
He's good,
great.
man. I'm telling you,
he's
he's
great.
and
Y'all won me over.
one of my favorite parts is okay. So I'm just gonna shout out this guy actor Barry
Shabaka Henley.
Shabaka
That's
Henley.
what I was just about to.
We have to talk about him. He's the jazz,
trumpet, the trumpet.
because his scene. And now everybody's scene's great. Javier Bardem is so great, but his scene, it's so good. Like he's so captivating, and he's talking about this thing, and then the turn, like that's one of the best turns in this movie. Where I remember the first time I saw this film, I thought, because Tom Cruise, and he does it a couple times. He's so good at being just like he does this moment where he's like, all right, we're ahead of schedule. Why don't we just go watch some jazz?
Yeah.
He just thought
And
it
you're
was
like,
good.
all right, and you think he's just messing with Jamie Foxx, right? He's like, I just want to watch jazz. I'm going to bring you along with me. And then you realize that, no, this is another person he's going to kill. And when his face just drops and he's like sweating and like, oh my god, like that moment is so good. And then
That's actually the best acting in the whole movie.
Yes, that
everyone's
one
there. Jamie and Tom Cruise are great, but that one moment tops everyone's performance in the
agree.
whole movie.
I agree.
It's comical and horrifying at the same time.
Yeah, and Jamie has nice little comedic moments in him where he's like music school.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that moment is set up where it's like it's so warm and it's so fun that in this movie the gavel's got to drop. Like something's got to happen. And in the moment, what does Tom Cruise say to him? Like he mentions like
He says, the guy, I got to tell the story for the guys back in whatever.
The Firm or whatever.
Whatever the
it was
firm
that
is.
perfect like classic
then it's
smile
just
fade. It was like the smile just slowly.
Yeah.
Jamie's still laughing,
And then
having fun.
he's like, look, I'm not going back to jail. All right, what is it? But see, this is the reason I want to talk about Jamie in this moment too. That guy, Barry, is so great. But the audience, everything that's happening to the audience is happening to Jamie.
Yes.
And so I think that Jamie does such a great job at being just that reflection. And like when he realizes what's going on and him wanting to be like, no, please don't kill this guy. Like, I don't want it to happen. And when he does die, like just getting freaked out, like the audience is the same thing. It's like, oh my God, like what's wrong with you? All these things, like the Mark Ruffalo moment when Mark Ruffalo dies, that was like honestly one of the it's so traumatic because you think because Mark Ruffalo is set up like a typical movie
he was set up as the
he's
hero.
going to be the white hero of this movie for real though he's
was
supposed
the
to be
hero.
the white hero and then he gets killed and Jamie Foxx is like, oh my god, I don't have any like he believed me and like Tom Cruise is like, I don't care, like he believed you, I'm not gonna kill him, like shut up.
You know, that's the beauty of the script, though. You give him something, and then you take it away.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Mark Ruffalo, and we all love him, and we think he's going to be. I mean, that's the best thing to take away. Well, he's Mark Ruffalo. He's not going anywhere.
Right.
Oh no! Every time I watch the movie, I forget Mark Ruffalo.
I do too.
Yeah.
I forget every time.
and I'm like, oh, we're screwed. You know, like it's one of the worst and best parts of that movie.
Yeah, it's so great, and so that's why I think this is the thing that I mean specifically for this episode. I mean, we'll get into cause, but it's just like for me, if more movies were like this, like we wouldn't have a podcast, right? Because this is
true.
This is that thing that's happening where I really hope that people can understand, you know, the difference between like a movie that has to focus on the person being black and the black struggle, and that's the only reason they get to be the lead. And then a movie like this where, and I read I think it was either Michael Mann or the writer. No, Michael Mann first wanted Adam Sandler as the cab driver.
Wow.
And the writer wanted Robert De Niro as the cab driver. And they had a bunch of different people. Like, I think Russell Crowe was the first person to play Tom Cruise's character, and then whatever. They had other people. But, like, when this guy wrote the screenplay, you know, he's white. And again, nothing against this, whatever. This was talking about unconscious bias. I'm sure when he was writing it, he was thinking this person is white. If he thought the cab driver was going to be black, I swear to you, he would have written the film differently. But he didn't. He just in his mind was like, this is an everyman. And for most people, still today, the everyman, quote unquote everyman, is still white.
Yes.
When the everyman can be black, can be Spanish, can be Indian, can be Asian, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can be anybody. Then, you know, we're not these things about race don't have to keep going. But I don't know. So I just want to make that point.
Well, that means that then you need more, because there's something about Jamie Foxx that he's been able to slide into that role. Because I mean, going back to The Kingdom again, it's another one where this is just a dude who shows up, and he gives a great performance in that movie too. Yeah. So what is it about Jamie Foxx that he's been able to do this and become this guy?
You get one.
What do you think though? Honestly, what is it about Jamie Foxx?
How can you get one?
As a leading man.
As a leading man.
Even Don Cheadle,
right?
Who, I mean, is up there as far as I'm concerned with the gods of acting. I don't see him in those roles as much as he should.
Very rarely,
I don't
right?
want to say it, but I feel like I know what it is.
What you think?
What is it?
I feel like it goes on. I feel like literally now, because they're both great actors, I feel like one is more palatable. And why is that? I feel like one is physically more attractive than the other.
Maybe.
Okay.
And the thing
which is fair to say of all actors.
But the only reason I think it's a big difference is because, for instance, you can put Don Cheadle in like an action role, right? You can put him in an action role. But you can have Jamie do the shirtless whatever scene, be a hero, but then you also can mop Jamie up to be a nerdy dude. I don't know if it was the movie about like a janitor or whatever. Like you can make him be those things. Whereas like because I feel like Don Cheadle or Forrest Whitaker have a certain look to them.
Okay, but
like a and I think, and the thing is, I hate to say, but I feel like it's only physical. It's not even like talent. I feel like it's physical that they look a certain way. So I'm gonna put them in this spot.
I hear you, and I don't disagree with that point. I think physical appearance, like again, like all actors have to deal with that. Women especially, even more, right? Way more so than men,
for sure.
But what about But if that's the case, why not? What about like a Morris Chestnut? What about a Taye Diggs? What about why aren't these actors also?
It's because of how you've established yourself, and so I'm guessing that a Don Cheadle, who came along before Jamie Foxx, somehow found himself going down a slightly different road, whereas Jamie Foxx jumped in and kind of went, with the exception of a few movies, kind of went straight to let's make this guy a mainstream movie star type of dude. And I think
I wonder where that was too, because he definitely did.
What happened the same
black,
year?
quote unquote, black movies.
Yeah.
To me, if you take, and I hate to compare actors, but if you take Don Cheadle, you take Jamie Foxx. Their Oscar movies happened the exact same year at the exact same time.
Hotel
At
Rwanda.
the exact same time.
Right.
But the thing is that we all know Don Cheadle's very fun, very charismatic, but Jamie can make you laugh. He was already an established comedian. Jamie was a package already.
Jamie's younger though.
Yeah, he is. He's
That's
slightly younger though. Very slightly,
I think Jamie, I think Don is seen as more of an older gentleman who, I don't know why Don Cheadle didn't drift over to where Denzel is.
Yeah,
for
true.
instance.
I thought he was.
Don's like 3 years younger. And
He's younger than Jamie?
No,
Foxx.
sorry, 3 years older. 3 years
gotcha,
older.
gotcha.
3 years older.
And so I
yeah.
think Jamie was just sort of a young, like a new Will Smith, this kind of
Can I-
dynamic
yeah,
guy.
He was like
you know.
charismatic. He like
Do you
he
have
told
a
jokes.
Do you have a theory? Because I have one.
About why Jamie Foxx.
Why Jamie Foxx? Like, just in terms of like, why was he able to do this when so many people of color?
I mean, for me, it's very in line with what Jerah was just saying about like how was a package and how he is funny and how he. I mean, like he got Django, and Django isn't the funniest. At least his contribution to Django isn't the funniest thing. But one of the things that Quentin Tarantino says is like, "Oh, I picked him because he was funny," And I just think that that is very accessible for people, and I feel like for a while, Don Cheadle was playing like all kinds of different roles, and like and I think maybe this thing about him being a little bit older, I think also is just like it like Jamie popped at the right time, and like and was able to slide right into it,
But I think the older thing is it, hits on 2 points. It's the time where people were, where we were all at, where our heads were at when it came to casting black actors for X, Y, and Z roles, and then and now also Jamie Foxx is just this younger, more action movie, more movie star-ish type of guy, and I don't think necessarily Don Cheadle was going for that. I mean, I can't speak for the man's career or to the man's career, but I feel like Jamie Foxx was the like, oh, that's our guy who, and like you ask about like Morris Chestnut, and I think there are a lot of these other young black actors who were specifically, who found that lane of, well, these are the movies that they're casting for, I mean, again, Morris Chestnut been around a lot longer than Jamie Foxx, and so Morris Chestnut is somebody who kind of found that lane and of black movies, and it's hard to, I think, get out of that and have a white industry go, oh yeah, no, you can do this too.
Can I offer my theory?
Yeah.
I think, and this goes to Collateral, I think Michael Mann is the reason. Here's why. Jamie Foxx was in those black movies, man.
He was. He did.
Sure,
Right?
yeah.
The man could not get he was not in anything. The first dramatic role that anybody took him actually seriously for was Ali.
You know who pitched him for that? Will Smith.
Right. Okay, so maybe Will Smith gets credit
I
too,
think
right?
maybe Will Smith.
Will Smith and Michael Mann.
Yeah.
But so this is what I'm saying though, is like Jamie Foxx was in Living Color. He has the Jamie Foxx show. It's very like black centric, like very what we all deem, and we talk about how maybe problematic this idea is, but whatever, quote unquote black movie, black something set like clearly targeted towards black audiences more so than white audiences, not considered mainstream or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? Like and Don Cheadle's an actor, man. Like the man is a great actor who's been acting in movies for so long, and like just based off of his acting brilliance, like was able to keep climbing the ladder, right? He was in Crash, which won Best Picture. He was. I know that movie is like an ensemble film, but like Don Cheadle's one of the main characters in that movie.
Yeah.
So is Terrence Howard, and neither of them got nominated. What's his name? Did Matthew
Brock. Was it Matt
Lillard? No, not Lillard.
Dylan.
Matt Dillon. Which whatever.
I
mean,
don't
remember,
know
like,
why that happened. I mean, that's Matt Dillon's back.
Yeah, that's
Right.
right.
So this is the
hate
thing,
that,
right?
man.
Matt Dillon's back, right? Sylvester Stallone is back. That's why he got nominated for Creed, right? Like we have like Hollywood loves these like little
Sylvester
storylines.
Stallone, legitimately a solid, I think, Oscar nomination worthy performance though. I would definitely.
No, it's good. My thing is, it's good, but like, if I had to compare, like, if I had to give up, if it was one spot left, and this thing is, if I had to pick between Sylvester Stallone and Idris Elba, to me, Idris' performance was stronger because it was more thought out. To me, it was sad to see. To me, it was like it was so much history with Sylvester. So it was like we're seeing Rocky get old, we're seeing Rocky get sick. I mean, that was cool.
There was something different. But wait, wasn't he supporting? He was nominated for.
He was
supporting
supporting.
actor?
Yeah, Idris was supporting too. He was the one. Sylvester was not nominated for the SAG. I know it's not. You can't say that Sylvester's the one who knocked Idris out, but like
you can't. I was comparing the two.
Yeah. But Idris was nominated for the SAG. Sylvester wasn't. Sylvester was nominated for the Oscar, and Idris wasn't. That's like the one difference in the category. Like
I can see that.
Yeah. But
anyway,
rough.
sorry, I cut you off.
I was just making the point that like, so Jamie Foxx does this. He does Ali, and then he gets to do Ray. Now, if he had only done Ray that year, he might have even won. Forrest Whitaker won the Oscar too, right? Yeah. But I think Jamie Foxx's career as a leading man might still have been not the thing that it was, but because Collateral came out the exact same year, because Michael Mann, after the white people that they wanted to first get weren't passed, and Michael Mann was like, well, I worked with Jamie Foxx before, he's very good, he's in Ray, which is probably going to get a lot of buzz, and the studio was like, oh, well, actually, if Ray's going to get buzz, then maybe we can, and we'll put him in this, and he's put into this role where he gets to be not just a black person portraying a famous black person or a black person being in like a slave movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? He gets to be that and at the same time do something completely different. People are like, damn, Jamie Foxx. You're talking about that guy who was on the Jamie Foxx show on like the WB or whatever?
But then it's like,
boom, he explodes onto the scene and now he gets to do whatever he wants. Now, the projects that he picked out for this, maybe not the best, but he got to be a leading man for at least 10 years. I mean, he still is, but like, you know, he got to do a bunch. He got to do what's that movie?
I mean, he did
Jarhead,
a bunch of movies.
Yeah, he did so many. Stealth. He did a lot of action movies too because he.
But so then, and thinking,
he did.
Oh my God, Stealth came.
He made a couple
right after all that, right? But then in thinking about what you just said, right? It's like, yeah, like we could totally give the credit to Michael Mann, but then it's also
I'm not taking away the credit from Jamie Foxx,
but like because like Jamie Foxx talks about in his Inside the that was what I was talking about because he talks about in his Inside the Actor Studio like all the movies and things that he's done in his major things that he's done in his career connect to things that happened in his childhood and advice that his grandmother gave him, which I can't remember the specifics, but like in thinking about Ray in particular, like. You know, what if what it really is Ray? Like, what if the reason he is who he is like how successful Ray was and his ability to do that, that role and the way that he was.
The difference, though, is what I'm saying is that Jamie Foxx gets all the credit because he has to do the acting. Like, he's that talented. But it kind of goes to a theme that we talk about sometimes, which is like, you need the studios, you need white executives, you need there's a certain part of the industry that needs to prompt up you as a whole. Brie Larson is the next it girl, right? Jennifer Lawrence was that person. Like Sam Worthington was it for a while.
Like J.J. Abrams, like, you know what? I know he didn't do well on this one.
Your audition was
give him again,
but
like,
just
do this.
Yeah, but even it's like to be the it person, to be the person who can like take anything, which is what black people need to be if they want to be in the films that we're talking about, and not just quote unquote black movies. You need this like buzz. You need somebody to be like, no, trust me, this guy.
Who are those actors?
Well, I can tell you now because the thing is, I think we live in a period of. Right now, I don't want to name the actors in case someone tries to kill me one day. But I think we live in a period now of like, we like you. Not necessarily your performance might have been okay in this movie, but I like you so much as like James III.
Yes,
that you're in this movie. Boom, I'm gonna nominate you because I like you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I think Jamie's a great actor, but I feel like Jamie himself is such a charismatic, is such a fun person that we like him.
Yeah,
like, there's actresses and actors right now who are nominated for awards that if you look at some of those movies, you might be saying. That was okay, but you like that person so much.
Yes,
it's like they're there.
Yes, but there are also actors like Kate Blanchett, like a Meryl Streep. Like there are actors who their public persona is not like, oh, this is a likable public persona type of person.
Yeah.
They're not quote unquote movie stars in like a Tom Cruise sense. They're just people who are like, this person can act. We know they can act, and therefore they're just going to be in everything because they're great actors.
Yeah.
There are very few black actors who get to just be great actors and also the lead.
Well, I mean, that's
Yeah.
very
Almost
few.
no, I don't.
I mean, do we
Denzel
have
maybe.
one? I mean, you think about Denzel didn't get popping for real to like the big white audience until later in his career. You know what I'm saying? Like Denzel didn't make an action movie. Like
I think Forrest
fight
Whitaker
people.
is one. He rarely gets to be the lead,
But-
but he can be.
Who are the Jamie Foxxes right now running around? That's what you have to look for. That's what you have to look to, because those people are going to be doing more Kingdoms and Collaterals and
We got one.
You know,
Yeah.
I can think of one right now. The only one I can think of off my head. I'm sorry, women of color. We gotta get y'all more movies because this is crazy. But I only can think of one dude. To me, Michael B is our generation's like,
Okay.
like our generation's like the one who has
He's
been
gonna be that
anointed.
guy.
But
we need to.
but,
So that's what I'm saying. It's a problem that you can't think of.
Yeah.
More actors like that.
I think Nate Parker forced his way in. I think he kicked the door down
Maybe.
himself
He
and was
might.
like, "Y'all didn't give it
Has
to
he
me."
yet?
Well, he hasn't yet. He definitely hasn't yet.
Well, no, but my thing is, if you compare, and it's, I can't believe you do this. You know, if you compare like if you do the Morris Chestnut, Jamie Foxx comparison, right? One made a lot of black movies. One has been given the key to like this white movie kingdom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Nate Parker's been around for a long time.
Yes.
Making a lot of films. Like again, like some of those films may have been geared towards like a black audience, right? But you take a Michael B. Jordan, his movies still, you know, he had Chronicle, he had like Fruitvale Station, which still were like could have like a black caveat, but like they were still different. So to me, it's like
Fantastic Four.
if Nate Parker didn't do this movie in Sundance, he would be our version of Morris Chestnut. No diss to Morris Chestnut, but he would be the young Morris Chestnut.
Maybe.
whereas
He's the
We'll see.
next Morris Chestnut.
he would have
we
been.
can get
but
out of
but
that
I hope
scene.
in that scene. But I think now that he was able to do this movie on his own, he like propelled himself. Whereas like I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
See, here's the thing. It takes more. It takes Michael B. Jordan to be doing more Fantastic Four-ish stuff.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
Chronicle stuff. And even in like Chronicle, he's the guy off to the. He's like, we got a black guy.
It feels like the token a little bit.
It does.
True.
And he to me was, he was just as interesting as the other. Really, I was more interested in watching him and the lead guy, and not there was another dude.
Yeah,
The good dude, the good one.
guy.
The good
Yeah.
one. The good one.
Yeah. So I mean,
Creed,
because but it's funny because Creed, in terms of like, it's great, but I still feel like it feels like a black movie that's not a black movie because
That's-
it's a
I see what
Rocky
you're saying.
film,
I see
and
what
I
you're
think
saying.
it's easy for people to. So I think we'll sit here and go, this is an amazing performance and he did a great job. But I think it's easy for people to sort of dismiss that as he's playing a young athlete. And
He's a black
oh
guy.
yeah, he's playing a rapper. You know,
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what
and you
you're
know what
saying.
I'm saying? It's not a star turn as Creed.
I see what
Like
you're saying. I see what
it
you're
doesn't.
I feel like it could have been if people gave it more recognition.
Maybe,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I that's the problem is
Yeah.
the recognition.
Right.
Is it's easy to go and look. People are worried about their own shit.
Yep.
It's not other people's job to worry about our shit. It's down to us, which means that it's a structural problem. If you're just talking about the academy,
Right,
for
which is
instance,
what- yeah.
we got
Or the
then that
studios.
just has to be shaken up. You know, I mean, look, people are doing it. My favorite story right now is 24. This is the
Yeah.
new 24.
Yeah.
Them actively going, we're gonna cast a black or Latino
Yeah,
actor,
Corey,
and then it's Corey, what's his
Hawkins.
Hawkins,
yeah.
yeah.
Who
It's a
I-
female
you
lead
know,
too.
Who did great in Straight Outta Compton.
yeah, and 24, and also shows like The Blacklist are very good for putting actors of color in these roles and keeping it that way. I mean, they're
TV's
just well
killing
popular.
it.
Yeah,
TV has been killing.
They're
man.
They're not
They're not-
killing it, but they're
trying.
they're moving us to. It's all about normalizing,
Yeah.
and not so that every man isn't just a white guy.
Yeah.
And I think TV is doing a better job of that than movies.
Yeah. There are a lot of swirls in TV, Jerah.
Oh man, there's tons of swirls. It's so crazy too. Because I was watching this movie like, just so you know, swirl, right?
Okay, yeah.
No, this is what I'm saying. Because the thing about the swirl, like we have these.
Is that like a
films-
type of lotion?
Oh no, this is this.
By the way, James, do you have any lotion?
Oh God, I can't. No.
So we keep reviewing these movies with like black male leads, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm realizing like some of these movies, you know, were written for like a white guy first.
Yeah.
May have had a love scene in the movie when it was a white guy, and then when the black person steps in, it gets rewritten, and the love scene is gone, right? The female white lead is still there, but now they're best friends. They're like cousins removed.
Give me an example of that.
Beverly Hills Cop. I'm always because it came up.
Pelican Brief.
It is the best.
And Pelican Brief because
Pelican Brief is
Denzel and Julia Roberts, and Julia Roberts was upset that it was out of that movie.
I think Pelican Brief was on Denzel. I think he was
word?
Wait a minute.
Really?
I think. Now I got to go back and check.
Really?
Because Kamau and I have talked about this before, how like Denzel was kind of like, let's not, be too hasty. And I think that was him kind of going, we don't need to, let's just keep it. I think it was
Because he was worried about it?
I'll tell you what. I think a little bit. I'll confirm, and then I'll update you.
Yeah.
That'd be
I'll send
great.
you,
Even
and you
so-
can,
But to me, it would sound like even if it was on Denzel, it's still not on Denzel. It's our society's
Well,
problem.
sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's not Anthony Edwards. Eric LaSalle did that on ER, where they actually they wanted to have his character had a relationship with the British Alex Kingston, and he had a character with a black actress. I can't remember, I'm blanking on her name, but she's in Devil in a Blue Dress. She's the woman who I think she gets killed or something, or no, she doesn't get killed. Whatever. Anyway, he'd had a relationship with this actress and her character, and it didn't work out. And then his character has a relationship with this white woman, and he said, I can't be a black actor, a black man, and have the only relationship that works out was the one with this white woman. So they just kind of went, all right, we don't have to do that anymore,
really?
So, but there is the thing with, I thought where you were going was like, they put Will Smith in a movie and they get.
Oh, you mean like he did in iRobot? It's like the only reason I bring it up is because, like, for instance, like in the world itself, I feel like the world is diverse. People date outside of their race, and it's not a thing.
Well, what?
It's not a thing.
It's
crazy, right?
It's not right.
It's not a thing.
But
for some reason, and on TV, it's starting to sprinkle itself.
I'm sorry. I feel like I got to interrupt. I feel like the room wasn't sure if I was serious or not.
I legitimately was like, wait, what?
I knew you were with me. I knew you were with me.
I was like this weird. Like,
I knew you were with me.
Look, white folks be with white folks. Black folks be with black folks.
I knew you were with me. You got to clarify though, because everyone on
someone listening will be like,
the
wait a
listeners are
minute.
like, oh my god.
I know. Because we have a lot of women who feel
People are trying
upset
to-
about this. They think Jerah's pandering to white women.
No, it's not. It's not even about.
It's not. I know.
sorry,
It's not.
you-
I'm
what?
saying.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
explaining. That's why we have to talk about it. It's like, calm down. It's okay.
Are you pandering to white women?
No,
What's happening?
Actually, matter of fact, I'm not even going to do a white woman in this.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually recast the scene if you guys will let me.
All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's happening?
Okay, this is when Tom Cruise and Jamie have to go into the club to kill the second to last person, right? And it's the
Okay. Love that club scene,
it's the
So
fat
good.
it's the fat Asian dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so look, I'm gonna take that fat Asian dude out, put a beautiful Asian woman in that spot, right? So all of a sudden, now Tom Cruise is trying to kill this beautiful Asian woman, and Jamie sees her. He's like, no man, you can't do this, right? So now all of a sudden, like the gangbangers are trying to fight Tom Cruise. Jamie gets to the Asian woman first, grabs her, and he starts running, right? They run up the steps. They run up the steps.
Okay.
And she's like, what's happening? Someone's trying to kill you. I'm trying to save your life, blah, blah, blah. And they get into a room, he locks the door. All right, now they're safe. They're like,
locks the door?
They get into
like a bathroom in the club?
No, they get into the manager's office, right?
Okay.
Locks the door, right? He's
right.
like, we gotta protect ourselves. She's like, don't worry, he's not gonna get here. He's not gonna make it here, right? Listen, it's a while going. It's a while. Like, Tom Cruise is searching for him.
A while?
Hear me out. Tom Cruise, movie minutes. All of a sudden, right? Like,
You're making Collateral too.
I know.
All of a
This
sudden-
movie's told in one night.
all of a sudden, right? They're just together, like huddled up. You know what I'm saying? Scared for their lives. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Okay.
get scared. You know,
Sure.
you get scared. You just want to hold somebody.
The gangster Asian lady.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, she might not be a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know if that Asian dude was a gangster. He could be just a.
He wasn't a
innocent
gangster. He had
all
armed
the
guards.
people around.
He could listen.
He told people to shoot.
She could be okay. She could be a witness. She could be like the gang dude's daughter who witnessed something terrible happen and wanted to save a life. Okay, she wanted to help save a life.
What if he was just like a high school gym teacher?
Exactly. We don't know who he was.
A random dude. I just don't like that guy. He's got nothing to do with the case. I don't like him. So they're huddled up.
So huddled up. So now they're on the ground. They huddled up. They got their back against the door because they don't want them to know, right? All of a sudden, you hear footsteps, right? Like Jamie's scared. Jamie's scared, but trying to keep it together. She's like, "Don't worry." Kiss him passionately. So they both are silent.
Okay.
So they both are silent. They both are silent. So now, like, so both they're being strong together and they're connected, right? They're connected. And you have this moment of two people of color mixed, just kissing together, holding tight. Just like I'm talking, you gotta feel the passion. I don't know if the people at home can feel the passion I'm trying to spew.
Yeah, he's real. He's flexing his.
He's
super passionate.
holding himself.
He's holding himself.
crossing his arms
Because you
around
gotta
himself.
feel the passion, you know what I'm saying? And that's a swirl that we don't see often in movies either. How often do we see the Asian black swirl? Have we seen
We
Asian black swirl?
Wild Wild West. Will Smith kissed everybody who wasn't white,
Oh, good. Okay.
and that was
Okay.
Bai Ling.
Bai Ling. Okay,
Who
cool.
is very attractive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Swirl number 2 then.
What happens?
There are
in that-
two
in that
swirls?
scene?
Well, no, what is
Yeah.
I just want that swirl to happen.
Yeah.
so
How
you
does
can
the
see
end of this?
kiss.
How do they get out of that?
That doesn't
Guys,
work.
first off, guys,
There's
I only get to the kissing.
Thing is
Oh,
happening there in that
in the
moment of
movie,
film.
in that
Yeah.
actual moment.
Yeah.
Oh, when he says, "I saved your life," I think it's I think we are like really seeing his psychosis there. I think it's like a strong highlighting of his because he does think he's like, I saved you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be thanking.
You should be thanking me for saving you. We're in this together. I think that's like
Yeah.
that's
I think he feels connected. He likes him because if you think about it, Mark Ruffalo early on says this reminds me of that case where that cab driver went around, killed 3 people, and then killed himself
In Oakland.
Right in Oakland. So it's like
Shout out to the
technically. Like this is probably we're supposed to believe this is the same dude, right?
Right,
yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically, at the end of the night, Tom Cruise should kill Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
right?
but then he says,
should have been
says
killed
to him, he says to him,
Jamie
though,
Foxx keeps asking, "Why haven't you killed me yet?"
But meaning that we're in this together, he says to him before that, he goes, if you get out of this alive, you should call that lady.
If we get out, he said, if we get out of this alive,
You should call her.
yo.
But he
there's a
knew that he was gonna kill her.
bromance.
Yeah, but-
Anyway, we're
You just
so
took
out
this
of
to
the swirl
another-
right now.
You just took this to another level.
Swirl romance.
I'm just saying that 'cause there is that moment.
It is.
There is that moment in the thing. He shoots one of the guards that's about to kill Jamie.
does.
Yeah.
And he gives them a look like it is like we are in this together. We're connected.
So you know what? Let's take that. Let's redo that look. Let's make it a wink. Let's make it a wink. Let's make it a wink.
romantic.
Why is it a
Let's
wink
make it a
now?
wink. Let's make it a wink.
A wink, and then
Let's
he's
make it
also
a
like
wink.
gonna lick his
All right,
lips or
well-
something.
It still does. Yeah, actually,
I'll tell you something. This is going to sound crazy. It does work it still kind of works for Tom Cruise's character if that happens because of what you said. It shows the psychosis. So this moment happens. Tom Cruise shoots this, whether it's this woman or whatever, and then looks at Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx is horrified, and Tom Cruise kind of winks at him. That's that moment where like you're seeing Tom Cruise's character in this fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Just kind of go, hey buddy, aren't we having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is kind of an interesting sort of psychotic moment for, Anyway, so I took us way off the rail.
No, you
got
took
real
it to a different level.
Okay.
You
You know what?
took the
I'm glad we
swirl
went there,
above
though.
what I could possibly think.
All right, let's end this.
We had a bromantic swirl.
All right, that's
No,
over.
but see, but I'm glad that we went there because having like a deep connection that way is a lot like After Earth because in After Earth,
does this thing.
like if you because
He does this.
What are you talking about?
Kevin,
Kevin got so confused.
my question is
Got so confused.
We are
my
always-
question, Kevin, is just and I'm just asking. This is for everybody, but just is After Earth good? Like, is it a good movie?
You see how I set
Have you
mine
seen
up?
it?
I've seen it. I've seen it. Seen it a couple times.
You know, Will Smith says that was a mistake, right? He regrets it, right?
I don't know if that is that an official quote. Like,
What
can
does
we
After
hear
Earth
him
have
say
anything
that?
to do with Collateral?
Well, so like in After Earth,
Connect us.
you
Connect
have
us, please.
no. So in After Earth, you have like there's like a deep connection. It's either mental or it's an energy that they refer to throughout the movie. That you have to those weird
The ghosting
creatures,
thing?
those weird creatures. Yeah, ghosting, right? And in
The monsters that
with
like
the
show
monsters,
up at the end.
yeah, with the weird.
they can smell fear.
So, but
Hated that
and so
well,
and-
Jamie Foxx does have fear.
that's right.
Yeah.
And so, and in
What are you doing?
Collateral.
No, I'm
you
encouraging him.
I'm just saying in Collateral, Jamie Foxx has to like come to grips. I
Yeah.
mean, he even has a moment. He has a
gotta
moment
overcome his
when
fear.
he's able to ghost. It's when he goes and he pretends to be Vincent.
He had
and
no
he's like,
animals.
Yeah, because like Vincent could ghost. He could go
Vincent
in and
can
out.
ghost all the time. He ghosts
you
the
know,
whole
he
movie.
ghosts the whole movie.
Are we using the terms from After Earth right now?
So, just saying. It was just a thought.
Do you think he would have killed Jamie Foxx at the end of the movie? Or do you think he wanted to see Jamie
That's
Foxx?
such a good question. I really wish
I've
I
been
knew the
thinking about that
answer.
question the entire time.
I
was trying to
I
figure it out.
100% think he would have killed him.
I think he would have.
killed Jada, but not. I think he would have left Jamie.
Nope. I think he would
I
have.
think he
killed
would
him.
have killed Jamie, but I think he would have done it and been like, "Hey man, I had a really great night with you."
Yeah, no.
Just so you know, this has nothing to do personally. Personally, I really like you. Business wise, I have to kill you. Bye.
Exactly.
Because he's like able to separate it. Like that was the whole thing. It was like he's like a psychopath in the fact that he can just like separate killing from like humanity.
I don't think he's totally a psychopath, though.
Yeah.
I think he's more calculating and just essentially a businessman, but he is sort of hardened and he can, you know.
I think he would have left him
think
alive to
that's
come do it again. Like for instance,
Do it
he's like
again?
no, because I'm saying because he's always like I hate coming here, blah blah blah. I feel like he would have killed Jada, would have said some quick one-liner, but like, oh, this was fun, can't wait till next time, and then like literally
Can't wait.
No, I'm not saying trying to set a sequel, but I feel like he would have literally attempted to do this. Terminator 2, baby. Jamie would have came back all chiseled, would have been practicing guns, he would have been ready for him.
It would have been like another Rush Hour.
So many weird pitches.
You imagine,
Yeah.
but imagine Collateral 2 and it's a wacky comedy.
Oh my
Like,
god,
yeah,
that's
it's like,
actually
yeah,
hilarious.
Guess who's back? Oh man, not again! You know, like, but Jamie's got his limo company and everything like that. Oh, I just got this
the limo
Oh
company.
man, that would
All
be amazing.
So it's time for the cause. We're gonna rate this film. The way we rate it, though, is not like on some 1 to 10 scale or how much we like the movie. We're rating it based on the cause being more leading actors of color in major motion pictures. So we give it either a black fist, meaning it fully supported the cause, or a white palm, meaning it was so-so, or nothing.
Wait,
meaning it didn't help
this
it.
is about the amount of leading black actors in this?
So I think there's all these different factors, but like for me, the epitome of it is like, does this movie promote like the idea that there should be more leading actors of colors in film?
Yeah,
like
especially when it doesn't revolve around their race.
and it could be either. I mean, it's both like how it helps actors, like actually it helped actors, or like as just an example of a film. You know what I mean? Like, oh, does this film show like, yeah, people of color, if they're the leads in the movie, it can be a good thing to the industry.
Yeah. Can I just point out something to you that's interesting with just making that point?
Yeah.
There's an actor in the film. His name is Richard T. Jones.
Yes.
We went to Tuskegee together, and we were both in Raisin in the Sun.
What?
So I follow his career.
Yeah.
We're old friends, and so I've always followed his career, and he was that dude who. At first, like I've always been happy for him and very supportive.
Yeah.
But not
Who is
that
he in the
needed
film?
me.
He's one of the cops.
He's one of the cops, and that is my point.
Is he Mark Ruffalo's like?
No, he's one of the cops that stops them because of the winch.
He's in the wood. He's in the wood.
He's the first one who's like, get out of the car and pop the
Yes,
trunk.
yes.
He was in the
That's a
wood.
great scene.
Which it's a great scene, but it's a little crazy because having watched his career, and
Yeah.
at first I think we all have that moment where you see someone that you're a friend and they're successful, and instead of like, yes, it's, hey, what the, like that. I remember when I saw him in Renaissance Man, I was like, how the hell did he,
Yeah, how
but
did he do that?
props to that. But it's a very interesting thing knowing the trajectory of his career, because this was a guy who was in, I forgot his first big thing. He was a cop in a television show, and then I saw him do some other stuff, and Sarah Connor Chronicles. He was a one of the main characters in that. Yeah, and he's had this interesting, but he was a guy who I feel like could have at least been that actor that we talk about. Like, this guy can just be anybody, just put him in
anybody.
anything. And it shows how difficult it is because, and look, no small roles or anything like that, but it was weird to watch him and go, I thought he was going to be in more of the movie.
Right.
And then he was gone.
Right.
And so it just shows what you're just dancing on a wire when you're a black actor, whether you're a man or woman in this business, because that dude was on a rocket ship to, and he's doing fine. In fact,
he's a
got
working
something
actor.
new coming in. He's a regular working actor.
Yeah.
But it was just weird to see him like, oh, the guy from Sarah Connor,
Right.
well, he's going to be. Oh no, I get that. Okay, there we go. You know, and so
yeah. And also, like, and just to put this out to the podcast audience, like, we know not everybody can be the lead of movies. It's just that there are so many white leads.
Yeah.
And so few, like, people who get to consistently be the lead who are people of color. It's just, like, it can't be. And as long as there's so few there at the top, then, like, of course the people at the bottom are never going to climb any higher. You know what I mean? Like anyway, so
it's just that inclusion. It's hard to get that because I know that brother works hard. I've seen him.
Yes,
and so there has to be more inclusion, and there has to be But anyway, whatever.
So on the count of 3, we're gonna throw up what we feel.
What are the?
So it's either a black fist, meaning it helps the cause all the way. A white palm, meaning it somewhat helped, or nothing.
Okay,
meaning it didn't help. All right, you guys ready? Really, Jerah? Give me that face. All right.
I'm thinking.
All right, here we go.
A second swirl.
I think that was a good swirl.
Jerah's thinking about the fact that Tom Cruise is on the poster alone. All right, here we go. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. 4 black fists.
4 fists.
I love Collateral so much. All right, who wants to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Oh, go ahead.
All right, here's the thing. I wanted to make this 1.2 about the movie. Like, there's a cool... I feel like this movie... I liked the example that Kevin gave about, like, Tom Cruise and his character, Vincent, and Jamie Foxx's character, Max, are like the actors in real life. It's like this passing of the torch almost. You know what I mean? Like, but I also think, in terms of black actors, Max had to risk something. He had to overcome something to, like, get... I mean, we don't see him achieve the thing that he's supposed to achieve at the end, like his limo business, but we have the sense that he has the confidence now. And it kind of was, he was pushed into this, sense of you can't just wait, you can't just be there. That's a lot of things that people are talking about now, like, oh, black actors are complaining or whatever. It's like, it's not just complaining, like, but we have, I'm not making any sense, but we have to, like, push forward. You know what I mean? Anyway, the themes of the movie were so great. The bottom line for me is this catapulted Jamie Foxx's career, who's one of our other leading actors today. And the movie had nothing to do with race, and he just got to be the guy that we can all relate to. Like, yeah, Tom Cruise has a fun bad guy character. People love watching bad guys. But Jamie Foxx is the everyman. Like, and I think this probably more than any other movie we reviewed. I honestly can't think of one that there was a character who got to really be the everyman. Taxi driver, hardworking, blue-collar kind of person who has dreams, can't necessarily accomplish them, but is, upright, upstanding citizen, gets in this whole mess, has flaws as well, and we just relate to him throughout the entire movie. And it's not like, oh, this is a black struggle movie or anything like that. It's just like, this is just the dude. And of course, why wouldn't Jamie Foxx get cast in this, Yeah. If there are more movies like this, damn, man. So yeah, I gave it a fist.
I gave this movie a fist for the same reasons. Jamie Foxx playing that everyman character is really great. I just want to give a quick shout out to the movie Bait. Came out in 2000. Okay, so this movie Bait.
Not shrimps. Scrimps.
Prawn.
Okay.
Oh, right, yeah.
But, like, I remember seeing the movie Bait and being like, yo, Jamie Foxx need to be doing more movies. First of all, why did they advertise this movie as a comedy? I don't understand. This movie is not a comedy. This movie is more a suspense kind of a movie.
Wait, are you still talking about Bait?
Yes, no. I'm still talking about Bait.
That was a comedy, dude.
And the way but listen. But so...
we're reviewing Collateral, right?
No, but wait, but why it connect? Fine.
No, continue.
Collateral,
Tell
right?
us how Bait is like After Earth.
But the reason I bring up Bait is because he's a character in that goes for a ride and things are happening to him, and in this movie, he does a great job of just being this subtle guy who's like being taken on this ride, and it's not about race. It's just about him. And if only there could be more movies like this, just more movie after movie where it's just a person and not this person who is a black person because we wrote all these lines that say that, So that's why.
Did you have to bring up Bait to say that?
I did.
Bait?
The man likes prawns.
Jerah.
Man, I don't have any more to say. I gave it a fist because it just comes down to the simple thing that we watched Jamie Foxx play a human. It's a straight up human who wasn't like held down by the color of his skin or where he came from. He just played a man who was driving a cab. And you know what happened when he got to play just a human? He got nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
How crazy is that you could how crazy is it that we live in a world where there's a movie where a person of color can just play a regular person that wasn't a slave, a rapper, doesn't know how to do kung fu. Like, they just a regular human we see on the street, and the performance is still so well that they still get an Oscar nomination. Who would have thought that shit can happen? Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that again. You know?
Who are you talking?
I'm talking. I don't know who I'm talking. I'm just mad.
Maybe we should return to that.
I'm just mad.
He was giving all of us the stink eye. We're like, all right.
Because now I'm thinking about, like, Jamie Foxx got this role, but has there been another person of color outside of just being black or whatever, like just any color that has been nominated for an Oscar for
do you
just
count Training Day or?
Oh, was Training Day after this one?
No, it's before.
Anybody after this one?
I mean, Forrest Whitaker's playing a African warlord, right? Somebody like that.
But no, I see what you're at.
I never.
My question is, like, we've had this thing, like, has this trickled throughout, like, Hollywood in some? Has it rippled
outside
anywhere?
of like Will Smith, who has clearly established himself as just a movie star.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to fire a pilot. Get Will Smith. Yeah, I don't. I'm struggling to think, because even if you go, well, Don
Any
Cheadle,
race, though.
Don Cheadle. The thing that I really should have said about he's more. I think he's always been seen as more of a character actor.
Yes, true.
So that's why he veers off into this other lane. But your new young black movie star who you're going to put in a movie about a guy driving a taxi cab that gets hijacked, or a dude who has to go to the kingdom to deal with a bombing, or I mean. He keeps doing these because he also did what's the movie with Robert Downey Jr. where he plays the homeless guy?
Soloist.
Yeah, was that a true story though?
I think
It was. It was based on.
was
Yeah.
Okay,
But still, it wasn't like the black homeless dude. At least he was like, I don't know. My thing is, I liked it because it was just not about his skin color.
It was great.
Sorry, you're all looking at me. But James said there need to be more movies like that, and I would say there are more movies. I gave it a fist, Black Power fist, and there are there are plenty of movies like that. You just don't have to take these actors and put them in those movies.
Oh, baby.
You have to look beyond what you're thinking. Yep. And I know for a lot of these guys that these studios and these directors, they're thinking, well, box office, I can't make this,
Right.
I mean, Ridley Scott, his whole defense for Egypt gods and kings is, look, I can't, man, I can't make this $140 million this $140 million movie with what he said, Muhammad so and so from such and such.
Yeah,
that in and of itself is a whole. Just dial it down. Really.
Every slave in the movie was still black. Every other person besides the main
do that.
Also, guess what?
That.
That movie bombed and nobody freaking saw it.
Well,
so.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was,
good.
it was awful. But the problem is that he's right.
Right.
And that is what needs to be changed. And that can be, there was an issue with Denzel when the Sony emails came out, and what's-her-face was accused of being racist because she says, well, black actors aren't as bankable overseas. They're not going to, and people are like, how could she say that? And well, it's true.
Yeah.
That
Right.
is true.
So how does that change? You just normalizing, where are the other Jamie Foxxes? Hey, there's this John Boyega over here. Maybe we should put him in more shit and elevate. It's all about elevating, and it's on the industry to go. Let's just put this Hawkins kid in the new 24, and that's what it's all about. You know? So, but yeah, I feel this movie does a great job. It's just I'm just looking at a guy that looks like me, running around kicking ass, and doing what he does.
And honestly, even if you listen to this and you hadn't seen the film, go watch it. It's the
great.
acting is so good. Even if the surprises aren't there, but just every scene, like the direction is good. The sound, it was all good.
Do you think he figures it out in the end, Jamie Foxx?
That's a good question.
That's the thing that the movie to me lacks a little bit. I was like, so what? Well, so where does he?
Yeah, where does he go? The other thing I will say we didn't really talk about it much, but for our women listeners, like Jada Pinkett Smith,
Jada.
her character was like, the idea of her character was like a strong woman, but like she is reduced at the end to like getting saved, damsel in distress. Like, it's so funny because in the Star Wars movie, there's that scene. Spoiler for Star Wars, but honestly, if you haven't seen it by now, you suck. There's that scene, where like where Rey Finn is grabbing Rey's hand and running, and she's like, "Why do you keep grabbing my hand? Like I know how to run." Yeah. And that happens in this. I couldn't help but notice it. I was like, "Oh look, Jamie Foxx keeps grabbing Jada Pinkett Smith's hand. Like she can run. Like you don't have to grab her hand." Like that being said, I know she.
I mean, she was running in heels.
I noticed she never tossed those heels.
And
But at no point did she ever toss those heels.
But
girls toss heels.
And it definitely failed the Bechdel test. Like the women didn't speak to each other. Anyway,
was there another woman besides?
There was one woman who was also an FBI agent who like kind of spoke a little bit.
There was Jamie Foxx's mom.
And Jamie Foxx's mom.
Jamie Foxx's mom.
Yeah, and then the one woman who's the FBI agent. That's pretty much it, I think. Anyway, but really great movie. Go watch it. And 3 or 4 Black Fists. So, do you have anything would you like to plug, Kevin? Other than the,
I don't know. Keep watching last week, or don't keep. We've been off the air. Last Week Tonight comes back on the air on February 14th.
Oh, nice.
I got a web series out on Comedy Central.
Oh, awesome!
It's called White Flight. It was written by myself and Matt Bronger, a fellow comedian, and it's basically about what happens in the year 2042 when the corporation that runs the country decides to transport all the white people up to Canada, to the new United States, except for a white person every 25 miles. And Bronger plays that guy, Gary, who's just like,
God.
And it's just all people of color and Gary. So it's called White Flight, and it's out now. And also check. I put this video out. It's called The Wiz with an H, and it's a response to people being angry that you remember when The Wiz Live came out.
And it was like
I drunkenly one night was ranting about something, and I was like, I'm gonna create an all-white version of The Wiz. And then the next morning I woke up and I was like, did I just say I was gonna do? And then we shot it. So it's called The Wiz, WHIZZ.
They got the crows in it,
and it's do they got what?
Are the crows in it?
The crows are in it. And it's it's a fun little video. It's out there right now on Fusion, on their F Comedy site or something.
Cool.
You look up The Wiz, WHIZZ. Yeah,
great. And
awesome,
listen to the
Denzel. The podcast. Jesus. Oh my God. Yes, please listen to Denzel Washington is the greatest actor of all time. Period. We have some cool guests coming up. I think we might have India Ari. I say might.
All right.
But we're definitely
don't hold. All right, don't hold him to it.
It's happened. That's our next episode is
awesome.
Is her. She's our guest, and we have other surprises coming up too. So
great. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was really fun.
All right, for Black Fist, Collateral, go watch it. We'll see you in a second. Bye.
Lotion.
All right, it's time for some plugs, y'all.
Pickly plugs.
First of all, you can follow us on Twitter at Black Men Podcast, on Twitter and Instagram. And you can check out our website, blackmenpodcast.squarespace.com. All right? Somebody shouted us out from Ghana. West Coast Africa represent.
You know what I'm saying? So international.
For real, y'all.
Hey, yo,
let us know where you're listening from internationally, please.
Yeah, man, listen, if you in like Antarctica, hit us up. We would love to shout you out.
Oh, my goodness. Asia, if we got an Asian listener, we would be on every continent.
I feel like we got a message. There's a person who lives in Asia, but she's not actually Asian. She's like, well, you have one listener. So technically, I think that counts.
Who?
Hold on. Keep talking. I'm going to look it up.
All right. Anyway. Also, rate and review us on iTunes, please. Give us some of that 5-star review. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can check me out at John Braylock on Twitter and Instagram, johnbraylock.com, for shows and dates and stuff. And today, wait, is it today?
What are you talking about?
Yo. Today, How to Be Single came out.
Oh, Jonathan Braylock, the famous Jonathan Braylock is in a movie.
I'm in that movie, y'all.
Jonathan Braylock can jump in Hollywood.
Yo, when you see that cab driver give a whoop whoop. Yeah, go see How to Be Single in theaters, starring a bunch of people and me.
Yeah, no one cares about the other ones. My boy in that joint, though.
Fourth build, Jonathan Braylock.
No,
Dude,
legitimately 26th.
You know he's third.
There's
build,
so
bruh.
many people.
He's third build.
Oh my
third
God!
build,
It's
bro.
Dakota Johnson, Allison Brie,
Jonathan
Rebel
Braylock.
Wilson, Damon Wayans Jr., Jason Mantzoukas.
I don't know none of them. I don't know none of them.
Who are these people?
Leslie Mann.
Bruh.
Leslie Mann.
Come on, man. Oh, here we go.
What you got?
Liz Ma sent a message to our Facebook page. Hey, guys, love your podcast. I heard the Good Burger episode, and I want to let you guys know that, yes, you have a listener from Asia, all the way from Korea. But I'm not Korean. I'm Puerto Rican. I just live in Korea. So, we taking that.
We on every continent,
We
y'all.
doing it.
Boom, baby.
Except for Australia. We have a New Zealand. We have a Kiwi, but we don't have. If you're from Australia, you gotta shout us out. So I'll count New Zealand for now.
Yeah. But thank y'all for listening, though.
Thank y'all for listening.
Thank y'all very
James,
much.
you
got some
plug
plugs?
some?
Yeah, JamesThirdComedy.com, at JamesThirdComedy, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Why your voice go like that?
This is my plug voice.
Ugh, disgusting.
Great, Jerah.
Look, I want to make an apology because I realize people like send Facebook messages about like nice things. People who are like, I hate the squirrel. People I love, whatever. Apparently, Facebook, I didn't know, had another like section where messages go. So I've been trying to like respond to all of the messages, even if it's love or hate. So bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm respond. Thank y'all.
To be honest, we have a lot of love for the swirl on iTunes reviews. We had a couple where people were like, but like the last like 6 or so, people have been like, I love this swirl, keep doing it.
Yo, listen, guys, we're trying to bring everyone together as human beings
And then
on this earth.
we have a Journey Through Black History show, February, what is it? 26th?
7:30
It's a Friday.
Yep. It's
So if
at
you're in New
UCB
York City.
Chelsea, New York, 26th and 8th. Come hang out. Come show
7:30.
love.
And we gonna be at South by Southwest, y'all.
Yeah.
March 11th, Friday, March 11th, 3:30 p.m. at the North Door Theater. You can go to our Facebook page or
You can go to
our
Headgunners
website
page.
Yeah, to find out tickets and information. So if you're going to be at South by Southwest, you make sure you check us out. We're going to be with some other Headgum podcasts. I think John Gabris is.
Gabris going to be with us.
Bodega Boys?
Yeah, yep, they're going to be
Bodega
there.
Boys.
Listen, guys, it's going to be
It's gonna be
have
hot.
fun.
It's
It's going to
gonna
be
be
South by
ready.
Southwest.
Ready.
I'm about to go. I might buy some flip flops.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even like put my toes in the air because it's gonna be hot, and I'm feeling like we on vacation.
All right.
We out here. It's South by
We're
Southwest.
about to get vacation Gerard.
Okay, that's all for now.
Ooh.
Next week, we are reviewing the film 12 Years a Slave.
Man, I don't want to review.
We're doing it. 12 Years a Slave, our NYU live show. You already missed it if you're listening to this now, but that's coming out next week. So I'm not going to recommend watching that again if you've watched it already.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you've seen it already, just listen
If
to
you
what
haven't
we
seen
think
it,
about
you
Just
know.
read the synopsis or something, man. It's like
Anyway,
This is I will say this,
we're gonna
though.
get into it.
It's my first time seeing it, and I'm scared.
All right, here we go. Next week. See y'all. Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.